What's going on, you guys? Today we're going to be reacting to the collected Miscellany Genshin Impact episodes, I guess you could call them. I don't really know what we're about to watch, to be honest, but I think it's like more lore about the characters. And I'm doing this live, but I'm planning on breaking into 4 parts. This is part 1. Maybe we'll do more today, but hopefully you guys are enjoying the reactions too, because I'm enjoying this content. So let's get into it. So we're starting with Venti.
A mysterious bard named Venti has recently appeared in the world, singing tales for the city of freedom and romance. This city is Mondstadt, the crown of the north, a free nation with no ruler. This once bitter cold land in the north of Teyvat is now fertile, a blessing left by the god of Animo.
I'm not sure what to expect.
1,000 years have passed since the god of Animo left this land.
By the way, if you're wondering why I'm wearing a hat, it's my hair is wet.
That time.
Come on, traveler, let's go. The world is full of lost ballads just waiting to be rediscovered.
Constellation.
As an archer with the power of Animo, Venti can battle with ease in almost any environment.
Oh, it is kind of like a background.
His versatile attack style and his ability to launch enemies with his elemental skill allow for a high amount of mobility in battle.
I think I knew that.
His unique elemental burst can pull together nearby enemies.
Oh, he has AoE control.
Character who can
I think we remember that
from
the character teaser.
Battlefield. When Venti is in your party, gliding consumes less stamina for all characters.
Oh, that's actually really useful then.
Needless to say, this skill will come in handy on your adventures.
Very
Take
useful.
Venti along when exploring the beautiful open world.
I've definitely drowned in the water when I played the game.
Normal attacks can perform up to 6 consecutive shots. The first and fourth shots can fire an extra arrow, while the 6th shot deals greater damage.
Okay.
Hold the attack button to use a more powerful aimed shot. When fully charged,
but is it more powerful than the
arrow
6th
is
shot?
fired and deals even more damage to the enemy. Call upon the wind on which hymns and songs fly to lift your enemies up into the sky. When you use the elemental skill Skyward Sonnet, Venti summons a wind domain at the enemy's location, dealing area of effect Animo damage. Enemies are launched into the air and fall slowly to the ground.
Wait, that's pretty good.
Hold Skyward Sonnet to summon an even larger wind domain around Venti, dealing greater area of effect damage and launching enemies into the air.
Wait, that's cool.
Venti also uses this powerful wind to fly high into the air.
Wait, I actually like it now.
The use of this skill not only allows you to attack enemies, but also dodge attacks and move around the environment.
That's really useful,
If the opportunity presents itself, you can also use a plunging attack from above. Wind domains can even be utilized to help you get around. After unlocking the talent Embrace of Winds, holding Skyward Sonnet will also create a temporary upcurrent as you fly into the air. By firing an arrow infused with coalesced winds, Venti creates a fierce storm that sucks in surrounding enemies.
Wait, is this
and
ultimate?
Deals Animo damage.
This is really good.
Contact with hydro, pyro, cryo, or electro elements causes the storm to absorb that element and deal additional elemental damage.
That's really cool.
The storm can only absorb one element each time.
Okay.
After unlocking the talent Storm Eye, Venti's energy will be replenished at the end of Wind's Grand Ode. If an element was absorbed, the energy of party members of that element will also be replenished. Even though Venti is more than capable of handling different obstacles in battle, strategic party selection and teamwork can help you maximize Venti's abilities.
I just realized I'm only using one headphone.
First, use Divine Archery to attack enemies from afar and whittle away at their health. Use Skyward Sonnet to launch dangerous enemies into the air. Gather up energy to prepare for the final attack. When your energy is full, unleash your elemental burst. Wind's Grand Ode sucks the enemies in and deals Animo damage. Use another element on enemies in the storm to generate a swirl reaction.
That's cool.
Then use another compatible element to cause an elemental reaction. Causing another elemental reaction brings the battle to a swift end.
I kind of like him. They say it heals people
As
too.
we all know, poetry and language flow like the wind. Venti captures this spirit in his ballads.
I swear it said it
Flora
also
and fauna he
heals
sings
replenished
of
or
seem
something.
to have a life of their own.
Did they? I can't remember
and
how the game
transport
works.
us to the moon and the
I think there's like
stars.
mana or some resource.
This self-proclaimed best bard of the mortal world
Best bard.
gets his strength, his unwithering inspiration from the wind. But what Venti seeks in life is not eternal fame for his ballads. Rather, he'd be happy with a cup of wine and a lyre to sing the marvelous stories of the world. Yes, that would make Venti the Bard very content indeed.
I actually like these. That's pretty cool. All right, Deluke. So I don't think.
As the Dawn
I think he.
Winery's owner,
Oh yeah,
Deluke
I
dominates
know this guy.
Mondstadt's alcohol industry.
I remember him.
Wealth and information.
I think we had
are
to
at
use
his
him for a
fingertips.
mission or something.
Modest and refined, yet quick to act whenever Mondstadt faces a crisis. What caused him to choose this path? How very curious.
There must be those who dare to pierce the darkness with their light.
As one who wields pyro and a claymore,
By the way, who is saying this right
Deluke
now?
has
This sounds like a
perfected
character
the
from
art
the
of
game.
violence and dominates the battlefield. With his powerful skills, Deluke causes massive damage with ease and crushes all his foes with fearsome, ruthless strikes. Born a noble, Deluke is well versed in all things swords. With his guidance, no metal ore is wasted in their making. When forging claymores, Deluke recovers a set percentage of the ores used, aiding greatly in your adventure. Deluke's normal attack performs up to 4 consecutive strikes, with the 4th strike launching enemies. Holding the attack button constantly consumes Deluke's stamina to launch swift consecutive attacks, dealing increased physical
Oh yeah, I
damage
remember.
to
I actually
nearby
remember playing as
enemies,
him.
and unleashing an extra powerful attack at the end that launches enemies. Use this wisely to scatter
His
enemy
attacks are kind of
groups and
slow,
defeat
but he
shielded
hits hard.
foes.
I remember that.
Unlocking the talent Relentless decreases Deluke's charged attack stamina consumption.
Oh, that's
and
why I probably
increases
didn't
its
like him.
maximum
He runs out of
duration.
stamina
Use his
fast.
fierce attacks to defeat those before you.
Okay.
Using the elemental skill Searing Onslaught, Deluke strikes with his claymore, dealing pyro damage. This can be done 3 times in a row, with a short window of time to connect each strike. But pay attention. This skill enters cooldown if the next strike is not activated in a short period of time.
Oh.
Using Searing Onslaught in concert with normal attacks allows you to deal constant damage to enemies, while remaining evasive and mobile. Additionally, since this skill deals pyro damage, Deluke can
Will you
form
play Genshin? Yeah,
combinations with
probably
other
at some
characters,
point.
using elemental reactions to deal greater damage.
Verdict is...
By the way, I might be doing a World of Warcraft
Surrounding
thing pretty
himself in
soon.
flames, Deluke knocks nearby enemies back, before gathering the flames into his blade and launching a phoenix, dealing massive
I
pyro
can't remember.
damage
Is this
to
his
enemies
ult
in its
right now?
path. Deluke's normal and charged attacks will also deal pyro damage for a period of time. Dawn has a very large hitbox, allowing it to not only strike airborne foes, but also forcibly reposition enemies to an extent, making it very strong against groups. The pyro damage conversion that Dawn provides further strengthens Deluke's attacks. Unlocking the Blessing of Phoenix talent increases the duration of Dawn's pyro damage conversion. and
Oh, you
gives
get
Deluke
talents
a
when you
pyro
level them
damage
up, I
bonus.
think. Right? Something like that?
Deluke is,
I'm like,
without
why are they getting
question, a
talents? I don't
well-honed
remember
warrior.
any of this. But they have like
Who
character
efficiently
levels,
deals with
and you
any
buy them
task.
or something with in-game money?
Now, please witness him in action.
I can't remember how all that works.
He begins suppressing the target with normal attacks, combining it with his elemental skill to deal great pyro damage to the enemy. He weaves between these 2 attack modes to suppress the foe more quickly, while building up elemental energy. He uses his elemental burst once his energy is full, followed by attacks enhanced by Blessing of Phoenix.
Seems pretty good.
Flawlessly.
Seems pretty good for
Deluke's
fire,
explosive,
pyro.
ruthless fighting style and his aloof manner are all admirable traits. But
I don't know, he's not my
disaster
favorite,
from
though.
5 centuries ago were to happen again, if he were to face the same evil that I once did, would he
Wait,
still
who?
hold
Okay, who
fast
is
to his
talking?
resolve?
I want to know who's talking. It sounds so familiar,
This
but I don't know
too
who.
makes me most curious indeed.
I want to know who's talking. Alright, Klee. This character I used for maybe like 20 seconds in the game. I have it on... I don't know if I have the account anymore, but when I was playing the account I was using, I had
remarkable
this.
people in Mondstadt's Knights of Favonius. Among them is a small knight who raised Stormbearer Mountains flat, and whose name has recently become commonplace both within Mondstadt and beyond. When it comes to Spark Knight Klee,
They just blew up
there
the
are
whole
rumors
Alden.
aplenty. Interestingly, those telling these rumors do so with a smirk and a shake of their heads, joking that even Mondstadt's fish have learned to swim away when they see her.
Can I come play with you today? Please? I want to go on an adventure.
Oh, I like her little thing on her
Well known
bag.
as the Spark Knight, Klee is able to deal continuous pyro damage with her childlike glee and a pack and pockets full of bombs.
Like
But
Ziggs.
watch out,
She's like
as
Ziggs, bro.
anything near her may be turned to ash in a fiery explosion.
Whoa. The little flower
Klee
thing, that's
loves
cool.
adventures and is adept at expeditions and gathering. Not only does she know the locations of Mondstadt's unique flora, she may also know where to find a treasure or two.
Wait, she can find treasure? Wait,
When
what do you
Klee
mean?
is on your team, the location of items unique to Mondstadt will appear on your minimap.
Wait, for real? Wait, I'm
when
so
it
confused.
comes to anything explosive, Klee simply can't control her enthusiasm.
She can find
Klee's normal
treasures?
attack performs up to 3 consecutive explosive attacks that deal AoE pyro damage. Holding the attack button consumes a certain amount of stamina, and after a short casting time blasts enemies, dealing AoE pyro damage. When Klee is
She seems
up
alright.
high, her charged attack can reach enemies even farther away. Also, Klee's normal and charged attacks are especially effective against geo targets.
Oh yeah,
making
she
them
just
ideal
applies
against
fire to
enemies
everything.
with geo shields, and for quickly mining ore.
Oh.
After unlocking the talent Sparkling Burst, when Klee's charged attack lands a critical hit, some energy will be restored for all party members.
Oh.
Use Klee's elemental skill to toss Jumpy Dumpty. Jumpy Dumpty will bounce 3 times, each bounce causing an explosion that deals AoE pyro damage. On the 3rd bounce, Jumpy Dumpty will burst into mines. These explode upon contact with enemies or after a short time, dealing AoE pyro damage.
Oh, okay.
Jumpy Dumpty will automatically recharge over time to up to 2 charges.
Ah.
It is effective in dealing with groups of enemies. After Jumpy Dumpty explodes, switch characters and pull enemies together to take advantage of the mines and deal a lot of damage to enemies. After unlocking the talent Pounding Surprise, when Jumpy Dumpty and normal attacks deal damage, Klee has a chance to obtain an explosive spark.
What was a
When
spark
Klee
do?
has an explosive spark, instead of consuming stamina, her next charged attack will expend the spark instead.
Oh,
and deal
wait, she's
increased
actually pretty
damage.
good.
Blow them all up!
Oh, her ulti. What is this?
Klee's Blazing Delight, Sparks and Splash, continuously attacks nearby enemies for the duration of the skill,
Wait, that is so...
dealing AoE pyro
Wait, that is
damage.
actually so broken.
Sparks and Splash has high damage and attack rate, empowering Klee to deal immense damage while on the battlefield.
Wait, she's so good. What
Klee
the
is
heck?
able to continuously dish out strong pyro attacks, earning her a role as the firepower of your party.
This is way better
Next,
than Deluke.
let's look at a battle
Way
to
better,
experience
bro.
Klee's incredible destructive capability. In battle, Klee can use her elemental skill and normal attacks to repeatedly activate the effect of the talent Pounding
Bro,
Surprise,
she's going off.
and use charged attacks to suppress enemies.
I should have used this character instead of Amber for
When her
fire.
energy is full, unleash an elemental burst to further increase her ability to deal damage.
She's
This,
using
Klee
her
can have
ult on
fun
one
causing
mage.
explosions, spreading flames in every direction, and burning enemies to a crisp. When the people of Mondstadt talk about their home,
Wait, she's good,
they
dude.
proudly call it the City of Wind, Dandelions, and Freedom. Perhaps it was Mondstadt's atmosphere of freedom that led the famous adventurer Alice to entrust her daughter Klee to the care of the Knights of Favonius.
Oh, it's
With
her
this
daughter.
freedom, Klee has had a happy and unrestrained childhood, but all baby birds must leave the nest someday. Hopefully, our little Spark Knight will remain just as happy-go-lucky when that day comes. And keep smiling all the way.
I didn't know she did that much damage. It just seems like she can do so much. Alright, Jean. Isn't this the mom?
When
Klee.
Grandmaster Varka of Mondstadt's Knights of Favonius left on an expedition, his role passed to Jean, the eldest daughter of House Gunhildr. The young acting Grandmaster had become a skilled swordsman through hard work, and works harder still for the sake of the Knights. Self-sacrifice, after all, is the Dandelion Knight's path.
As the wind continues to blow, so too shall I continue to fight.
Jean has excellent crowd control and support abilities, and can act in concert with others to suppress the enemy.
Whoa, she knocked it up for
Jean's
like...
elemental burst can
5
instantly
seconds.
restore her health,
Wait, what?
and
She
benefit
can
her
heal
allies
herself?
as well, making her the pillar of
Wait,
Venti.
what? She can heal herself by
Even when
attacking?
cooking, Jean is always concerned with helping others, and can accidentally make extra helpings.
Oh.
When Jean cooks a restorative dish perfectly, she has a chance to create 2 of them.
Wait, that's so nice.
All the better to face the battles ahead. Jean can perform up to 5
Because you
consecutive
use that food
normal
in
attacks,
when I was fighting
dealing
the monster, I
physical
used it all the
damage
time.
to enemies.
I remember.
Holding the attack button consumes a set amount of stamina and unleashes a wind-infused thrust that deals high physical damage and launches enemies.
Oh my gosh.
Launched enemies will fall slowly for a short time, allowing Jean to control the flow of battle and give her teammates a chance to perform follow-up attacks more safely. Unlocking the talent Wind Companion gives Jean's normal attacks a chance to heal all party members on hit. This
Oh
healing
my
scales with Jean's
goodness.
attack power. Tapping her elemental skill Gale Blade causes Jean to gather formless wind on
Wait,
her
that's
sword
actually so broken.
and unleash a small storm, launching enemies in the direction Jean is aiming, dealing animo damage.
So is animo
Holding
damage
Gale
wind
Blade
damage?
constantly consumes Jean's
Is that the same
stamina,
thing?
pulling nearby enemies in front of her,
Oh, what is this?
and allowing her to adjust the direction in which she wishes to launch
That
them,
seems kinda
dealing
useless.
animo damage.
That seems kind of
Enemies
useless.
launched by Gale Blade
Actually,
will remain clumped
no, if
together
there's like
when
a
they
million
fall,
enemies,
making
they can
follow-up
do
attacks
that.
easier. Gale Blade is a very flexible ability.
Oh look, throw him off the
Strategic
cliff.
use of the surrounding terrain will often amplify its effects.
Wait, that's actually
Wind,
pretty
hear
good
me.
then. Wait, she's so good.
Calling upon the wind's
The
protection,
healing, though.
Jean creates a dandelion field, knocking nearby enemies back and dealing animo damage. The field also quickly
Animo
heals
has
nearby
to be the same
allies
as
and all
wind.
party members. This healing scales with Jean's attack power. The dandelion field continuously heals characters within it, infusing them with animo,
Dude, and she
while
heals
dealing
with her
animo
ability. Dude,
damage
she's
to
healing too
enemies
much.
who enter or leave the field.
Wait, she's so good.
Once the talent Let the Wind Lead is unlocked, using Dandelion Field will regenerate some additional elemental energy. Jean can help her team take charge, aid in their attacks, and do great damage through skillful use of her abilities. A well-rounded fighter indeed. Start the battle by using her elemental skill. Mop up nearby enemy groups and build elemental energy. Then use her charged attack to disrupt their movements, allowing your party members to switch in, attack, and deal damage. When your party members have taken
Oh my
significant
god, what is her
damage,
name?
use her elemental burst at the opportune moment to repel enemies
Dude,
and
we just-
regenerate your team's health.
I remember her
before
name.
beginning
Dude, she's
the
the
next
cook.
round of attacks to finish the fight.
The girl in her
Though
party.
Jean may lack experience,
I already forgot.
Mondstadt has only
Zhang-
prospered since she assumed
I wanna say it's
Varka's great
Zhongli.
responsibilities. Even I, who has seen countless people, must respect her desire to always defend Mondstadt. But unlike most who bear great burdens, this young knight has remained as tenacious as ever. How was her will molded, and what sustains her edge such that it never wears down? If fate wills it, I will find the answer to these questions.
By the way, who is the narrator? He's a guy in the game. For sure. I don't remember who it is, bro. Oh, it's the zombie, bro. Let's go. It's the zombie, my favorite. This is my favorite.
Children as special as Chichi are few and far between. As a zombie, time has no effect on her. But she has difficulty committing things to memory. For Chichi, perhaps this is a good thing. She can forget her past and be an herb gatherer at Boo Boo Pharmacy. But those who underestimate her just for being a child do so at their peril.
I don't think I got to use her.
I am a zombie, and I forgot what comes next.
With her mastery over cryo, Chichi is a powerful asset to your team. Despite her size, she has the strength to protect others. With Chichi by your side, you will always feel safe. When gathering herbs, she always knows where to find them.
Oh.
Because she always carries a notebook with her that has all their locations marked, lest she go out and become completely lost. With Chichi on your team, the mini-map will show areas where plants unique to Liyue grow, making it easier to gather certain resources. Chichi's normal attack can combo up to 5 slashes, dealing physical damage to enemies.
Okay.
Holding the attack button consumes a set amount of stamina, and releases a 2-slash flurry, dealing high physical damage. Using Chichi's elemental skill, Herald of Frost, deals cryo damage to surrounding enemies. Herald of Frost moves with the character, dealing damage along the way, while also healing the current character periodically.
Wait, it will just heal him?
While Herald of Frost is active, normal and charged attack hits heal the entire party.
Oh my gosh.
And nearby allies.
Wait, she's just better than Jane,
based
bro.
on Chichi's attack power.
Oh my god.
Not only does this increase the team's endurance, it also allows you to dominate the enemy when paired with Hydro. This skill is also useful during exploration. Using it to freeze water surfaces is a sound strategy for conserving stamina.
Oh my gosh.
After unlocking the talent Life-Prolonging Methods, when a character under the influence of Adeptus Art Herald of Frost triggers an elemental reaction, incoming healing is increased.
Sacred name, Fortune Preserver.
When Chichi releases the adeptal power sealed inside herself, she marks nearby enemies with a fortune-preserving talisman and deals cryo damage to them. When enemies marked with fortune-preserving talismans take damage, the character dealing the damage is healed. By choosing an opportune moment to use Adeptus Art Preserver of Fortune, the whole team can be protected while dishing out damage.
Deluke, get rid of him, bro. He's so bad.
After unlocking the talent A Glimpse into Arcanum, normal and charged attack hits have a chance to tag enemies with a fortune-preserving talisman, once per set time period. Chichi has the ability to constantly heal, an excellent safeguard that helps keep your team alive.
Yeah, it's serious.
The more difficult the battle, the more apparent Chichi's assistance becomes. When entering battle, first use Herald of Frost to allow your team to deal constant cryo damage, and easily trigger elemental reactions for greater damage. The effects of Herald of Frost will keep your team fighting fit, until the right moment comes to unleash an elemental burst, allowing your team to safely unleash all the firepower they've got. As a zombie, Chichi has escaped the grip of both time and death. How Chichi entered this state of existence, I do not know, but I doubt it was of her own volition. Are the heavenly principles toying with her, or is fate seeking to torture her? Is an ordinary life of simple pleasures really a thing so fragile?
Bro, best healer. That was crazy. Dude, she heals way too much. Oh, it's the Mona, the emote.
The stars illuminate all mortal destinies, though few have eyes to perceive.
Oh, she's in
meaning.
Mondstadt, bro.
But Mona, an astrologist newly arrived in Mondstadt,
wait, she was in when was she in Mondstadt? I don't even remember.
In the water.
I don't think I ever saw her in Mondstadt.
But while no phenomenon is hidden from the astrologist Mona, she struggles often with the minutiae of daily life. It is a most common predicament, The more you seek truth, the more simple joys elude you.
This was ordained by fate. Long had I foreseen it.
Mona has skill that matches her reputation. As a hydro-aligned catalyst user, she masters the battlefield with ease, controlling the situation and creating openings for her teammates to attack. As a student
the emote,
of all
like,
things in and under the night
just keeps
sky,
attacking.
Mona also has a strong grasp of weapon construction. In truth, she finds that most weapons are wastefully made.
Whoa, she just
When she crafts weapon
transforms into
ascension
water.
materials, she has a chance to recover a portion of the materials used.
Oh, that's cool. I don't even remember crafting a single thing.
Mona's normal attack performs up to 4 strikes that deal hydro damage. Holding the attack button consumes a set amount of stamina and deals area of effect hydro damage after a short casting time.
Okay. Seems pretty easy to use.
Mona creates a Phantom of Fate from coalesced water. This phantom
emote.
taunts nearby enemies and deals continuous hydro damage to them. The phantom explodes when its duration expires, dealing area of effect hydro damage to enemies.
That's cool.
Holding the elemental skill button causes Mona to ride a flow of water backwards and summon her phantom. This skill has many applications. The phantom can be used to taunt enemies, making them wet and priming them for attacks from Mona's allies. It can also help her out of a pinch.
Yeah, like if it taunts them, that's pretty good. Like they're
When
drawn
Mona
to it.
sprints, she cloaks herself in flowing water,
Oh, here we
consuming
go.
stamina to move rapidly. Ending this skill causes Mona to emerge, getting nearby enemies wet.
Oh, that's cool.
Illusory Torrent also allows Mona to travel swiftly over water.
That's
Once
pretty
her
useful.
first passive talent is unlocked, Mona can create a phantom automatically, if she maintains this skill for a certain period of time with an enemy nearby.
Fate is upon you.
Mona
Wait, what is
summons
going on?
sparkling waves and creates a reflection of the starry sky, applying the wet and illusory bubble statuses onto all enemies in the area. When affected by illusory bubble, weaker enemies will be imprisoned and unable to move. Attacking imprisoned enemies removes that status from them, and deals an instance of hydro damage.
Oh, I was gonna say.
When the status is cleared, the enemy comes under an omen. Enemies affected by an omen take more damage.
Oh yeah, definitely more damage.
On the ever-changing battlefield, Mona's capacity for control cannot be overlooked.
She's pretty
This
good.
astrologist aids her team at critical moments, controlling the field and maximizing her teammates' damage. As the battle begins, she first summons a phantom. It taunts enemies and lets her switch out, using the opening created to cooperate with her teammates and deal massive damage to enemies. She uses these combined techniques to control enemies, allowing the party to damage them safely. Once the time is right, she uses her elemental burst to entrap enemies and attacks them to trigger damage bonus effects. This way, she can defeat the weakened enemies before her all in good time.
She's pretty good.
Mona's hydromancy is indeed unique.
Dude, her
No
plus
one can
the
deny her intelligence and
what,
talent.
Raiden Shogun?
Within Mondstadt,
That would be good.
there are few who possess the ability and a desire to seek truth equal to hers. But beware, O young seeker. You must sacrifice your all to unravel the world's secrets. Can the astrologist Mona truly bear such a burden?
By the way, who is doing the commentary? I recognize his voice. Like, what character is that? I don't know who it is, but now it's annoying me.
Everyone in Liyue knows
Kuching.
it is Rex Lapis who protects their
Kuching.
borders.
Dude,
But the city's daily affairs are run by the Chichi. As Yuheng of the Chichi, Kuching acts decisively
Kuching.
and pragmatically,
jeez.
knowing every inch of Liyue like the back of her
I don't think I
hand.
ever played this
Yet as a
character.
representative of the mortals of Liyue, she has much to say about Rex Lapis's unilateral governance.
Rex Lapis. I remember
We
him.
live in an era of change, as the old order that has existed for 1,000 years is about to be rewritten.
Within the Kuching, Kuching is one for action. Ruthless efficiency is her modus operandi. Like her personality, her sword work is both swift and uncompromising. This, along with her control of Electro, brings a shockingly abrupt end to any enemy. Kuching could not be more familiar with Liyue. Even on long journeys, she always finds a swift route back home. If dispatched on an expedition in Liyue, she will complete it more quickly than most.
Oh yeah, you get little reward. It was like World of
Kuching
Warcraft,
can unleash a combo
Warlords of
of up to
Draenor.
5 normal attacks.
You
her
get little
final
rewards.
strike allowing her to pass through enemies. Yunlai swordsmanship is both offensive and defensive, offering a way to dodge some attacks and strike back from a better angle.
Oh, whoa.
Hold the attack button to consume stamina, and release a 2-slash flurry,
2 slashes?
dealing high physical damage. Tap Kuching's elemental skill Stellar Restoration to throw a lightning stiletto, which
What does this
deals
do?
electro damage to enemies in a small area upon impact, and leaves behind a lightning stiletto marker.
Yeah, what does this do?
If Kuching uses Stellar Restoration again while the marker is still present, she flies to the marker and performs a quick slash,
Oh, that's cool.
dealing electro AoE damage.
That's cool then.
Holding Stellar Restoration allows Kuching to aim the lightning stiletto before releasing it. Adept use of the lightning stiletto produces various results. With the lightning stiletto, Kuching can flash into battle and attack from the best position. The lightning stiletto can also be used in exploration to navigate challenging terrain.
Oh.
Kuching can also clear the lightning stiletto with a charged attack, causing a slashing thunderstorm that deals electro AoE damage at its location.
That seems good for traveling.
Deft use of this skill allows Kuching to creatively deal ranged damage. After unlocking the talent Thundering Penance, using Stellar Restoration while the lightning stiletto is present converts Kuching's normal and charged attacks to electro damage for a short time.
Cut to the chase.
Her ulti. Ooh, what is this?
Kuching unleashes her electro power, causing electro AoE damage. Hiding behind the shadow of her sword, she relentlessly slashes
Ooh, it's like
surrounding
Master Yi,
enemies
bro.
at lightning speed.
I think I remember seeing
Dealing
this
multiple
in
rounds
the
of
character
damage.
teaser.
With a final burst of electro AoE damage at the end. After unlocking the talent Aristocratic Dignity, casting Starward Sword increases Kuching's crit rate and energy recharge for a period of time.
Okay.
Light on her feet and leaving no shadow, Kuching is a sharp addition to any team. Groups of enemies
cool.
or single opponents are no match for a well-executed combination of her skills. Kuching cuts them all down with ease. The key to combat with Kuching is mastery of the lightning stiletto.
Yeah.
First, use her elemental skill to place the stiletto. Then, use her elemental skill again to zip into battle and strike quickly. Follow up with more electro damage, using her elemental skill to suppress the enemy. And continue to use the lightning stiletto at opportune moments to frequently move and attack.
Oh, so she doesn't do that much damage.
Keep up the offensive to rapidly accumulate energy.
She's not bad for lightning. If I didn't have the
Once more,
Shogun, I would
it's
use her
time to
maybe.
unleash Starward Sword and bring the fight to a perfect end. Human history is to be written by the people. Even without the protection of the gods, Liyue would flourish as always. This is Kuching's belief. This desire to take fate into her own hands. I remember this feeling.
Dude, this dude always makes it
Will
about
she
himself
be
at
able
the
to
end.
bring her vision to life? To protect this land she calls home? In the hands of the Kuching, where is Liyue headed?
I swear, like the last few of them, he's always like relating it to him. Who's the guy talking?
The Fatui from Snezhnaya are known to make
Who is
waves
this? I don't
wherever
know
they
who-
go in Tevat.
I can't.
And Tartaglia
It
is
sounds
the
too
driving
familiar.
force within them. Of the 11 Harbingers,
Who is the guy
10
talking?
concern themselves with clandestine
character.
operations. Tartaglia is the sole exception. Rather than lure his enemies into
I've
a
heard
trap,
whatever this guy
he
a million
prefers
times
to
in the
face
game,
them
I swear.
head-on in one-on-one combat.
Oh, is this Child?
The wind is picking
Wait,
up.
Tartaglia?
There's conflict in the air.
Wait, what?
His reputation precedes him. Child is known far and wide as a fearsome warrior, well-versed in a variety of fighting forms.
Tartaglia.
He can switch stances at will, and has 2 distinct modes of attack at his disposal. When Tartaglia is in your party,
Tartaglia.
all characters' normal attacks gain
Is it
1
Child
level,
or Tartaglia,
dealing
bro?
increased damage as a result. Tartaglia is weakest with a bow, so he chooses to use one precisely to overcome this weakness. His normal attack can combo up to 6 consecutive shots. Charging the attack executes a more precise shot that deals increased damage. While aiming, hydro energy accumulates on the arrowhead. A fully charged arrow will deal hydro damage to enemies on impact, and also apply the Riptide status to them.
Riptide.
When an enemy is affected by Riptide, further hits from Tartaglia's fully charged arrows deal multiple bouts of area of effect hydro damage.
That's
Also,
pretty cool.
when Tartaglia defeats an enemy affected by Riptide,
Oh.
it causes a Hydro Burst, which applies the Riptide status to nearby enemies.
That's pretty good.
Unlocking the talent Never Ending extends the duration of Riptide.
Oh.
Faced with a strong foe, Tartaglia will reveal his true might.
Tartaglia.
When he casts his elemental skill, he summons weaponry fashioned from pure hydro, dealing hydro damage to surrounding enemies in the process, and also switches to his melee stance. In this stance, his normal attack now combos up to 6 consecutive hydro slashes. Charging the attack consumes stamina and releases a 2-slash flurry, dealing hydro damage. In melee stance, when Tartaglia strikes an enemy affected by Riptide, he deals area of effect hydro damage. Tartaglia exits melee stance when his elemental skill is cast again, or after a certain time has elapsed. He then returns to his ranged stance, and his elemental skill enters cooldown. The longer Tartaglia spends in melee stance, the longer the cooldown time. After unlocking the talent Sword of Torrents, when in melee stance, if Tartaglia deals a critical hit, the Riptide status is applied to the enemy. Depending on Tartaglia's stance, his elemental burst will unleash one of 2 different attacks.
Riptide!
In ranged stance, Tartaglia swiftly fires a hydro-imbued magic arrow ahead of him, which deals area of effect hydro damage,
Okay.
and also applies the Riptide status to enemies. Afterwards, Tartaglia regains some of his spent energy.
Shouldn't let your guard down.
In melee stance, Tartaglia performs a slashing
Tartaglia.
attack with a
Dude,
wide
why?
area of effect, dealing substantial hydro damage to all surrounding enemies. And if the elemental burst hits an enemy affected by Riptide, the Riptide effect will be consumed in a hydro explosion, which deals area of effect hydro damage. Tartaglia is a formidable warrior.
His real
who
name
lives
is
for the heat of
Ajax?
battle. He chooses his moments to attack and retreat, and is tactical when selecting his mode of attack.
I don't like him.
This is what makes him so powerful.
He's alright, but I don't like him.
Faced with a single opponent, start by firing at them from a distance
He's
to
not
apply
going
the
to my
Riptide
party.
status. Then, enter melee
I'm
stance
staying
and
away
go in
from
for the kill.
Tartaglia.
Use fast and frequent attacks to trigger Riptide effects and deal immense damage. Against groups of enemies, build up energy in advance, and unleash an elemental burst in ranged stance to apply the Riptide status to the group.
Riptide's cool, though.
Then enter melee stance, and attack the enemies affected by Riptide, hacking away at their health, while also restoring Tartaglia's energy. Wait for an opportune moment to unleash another elemental burst, and take them all out in one go, bringing the battle to a clear-cut conclusion.
I mean, it's a cool fight. I
Few
don't like him,
know
though.
where Tartaglia acquired his fighting skills before becoming a Harbinger,
Harbinger.
nor do many know where his lust for combat originates. There is a
Zhongli?
dangerous secret to the martial legacy he inherits, but it is one that even he himself
Lucas
does not
Jade?
fully understand.
Or is that what they're buying?
Since becoming a Fatui Harbinger, fighting for the Tsaritsa is his new motivation as a warrior. Child is the Tsaritsa's weapon of war, and he stands for the might of Snezhnaya. An icy storm is starting to blow towards the other nations. Brace yourselves. Tevat is about to get cold.
Where's Tevat? Tartaglia, bro. Oh, it's Zhongli?
When it comes to Liyue's sacred traditions, the divinity is in the details. Even the most fastidious of academics don't claim to know them all.
Wait, am I listening
And
to...
yet,
oh,
the
Tevat is like
mysterious
the
funeral
world.
consultant Zhongli seems to
Zhongli?
know them like the back of his
Zhongli?
hand.
Who is talking right now?
The ancient rite of parting is a most unique tradition,
Dude, what character is it? I
Many
mean, I know it's a
details have
person,
been lost
but like
over
what
time.
character?
but Zhongli is still able to perform the rite to perfection.
Because I swear this sounds so
Though
familiar.
he looks young, Zhongli knows each ancient tradition inside out. But his own past
Dude, I don't
is
know.
shrouded in mystery.
Every journey
Dane
has
Sleeve?
its final day.
Who's that?
Don't rush.
Zhongli excels at manipulating Geo, able to create and absorb Geo matter, and provide sturdy shields for his allies.
Oh, shields.
This, paired with his exceptional ability in combat, makes him a reliable
Okay, they're all
member of your
exceptional in combat, bro.
party. Zhongli seems to know everything about everything, even a simple chunk of white iron ore.
Oh, okay.
He is able to pick out the best ore and use it to maximum effectiveness.
He's good at mining.
When forging polearms, Zhongli recovers a set percentage of the ores used.
That's cool, actually. I like these. Like,
Zhongli's normal attack can combo.
I like
up
when
to
the character
6
has like these
strikes,
little
dealing
passive
physical
effects.
damage to enemies.
So there's a reason you have them in
Hold the
your party.
attack button to consume a set amount of stamina and lunge forward, casting down stone spears across Zhongli's
Oh, that's
path,
cool. Actually,
dealing
that's cool.
significant physical damage to enemies.
Significant damage? I kind of wish they would
Zhongli's
show how
elemental
much.
skill to summon the Geo energy from within the ground, and form a stone steel, dealing area of effect
Oh, it does
Geo
damage?
to enemies. While the stone steel remains, it will periodically resonate with nearby Geo constructs, dealing
who's that?
continuous Geo damage to surrounding enemies.
Wait, so it's hurting them right now?
You can take advantage of this in battle. Draw enemies affected by other elements towards the stone steel, to both deal Geo damage and cause crystallize reactions. Use the elemental shield created by Crystallize to help your party survive. Stone steels can
I'm kinda
also be
confused.
used to block enemy attacks, or climbed to traverse difficult terrain.
Okay, I know that part.
Holding Zhongli's elemental skill causes Geo energy around him to explode, creating a jade shield
Ooh,
and
okay.
dealing area of effect Geo damage.
So he has a shield that
The
blows
jade
up.
shield absorbs damage. The amount absorbed scales with Zhongli's max HP
That's good.
and is higher against enemies' Geo attacks.
Okay.
If Zhongli is surrounded by targets affected by Geo, it will drain a large amount of Geo energy from up to 2 of them. This effect does not deal damage, but can effectively break down enemies' Geo armor
Huh.
and nearby ore deposits. After unlocking the talent Resonant Waves, when the Jade Shield takes damage, it will fortify your character, allowing their shield to absorb more damage.
This is order.
Ooh.
Zhongli can bring a huge meteor crashing down, dealing massive Geo damage and applying petrification to enemies caught near the impact
Ooh,
site.
wait, that's pretty good.
Petrified enemies become immobilized. After unlocking the talent Dominance of Earth, Planet Befall deals additional damage to enemies, which scales with Zhongli's max HP. Zhongli maintains his composure
Well, how much damage?
even as he metes out punishment in battle. His exceptional ability to provide support and deal damage makes him quite prepared for any scenario.
It's kind of cool.
As the fight begins, first use Zhongli's elemental skill to summon a stone steel and draw enemies near it, creating the ideal environment for dealing damage. Next, create a jade shield to absorb incoming damage. Then, alternate normal and charged attacks, stringing together attacks to deal enormous damage. When energy is
Ooh.
full, unleash an elemental burst and coordinate your party's attacks to
Ooh,
wipe
he
out
just
the
blew
enemy.
him up.
While Liyue Harbor grows restless on the eve of
Geo
disaster,
plus Geo is good?
as the host of the Rite of
Isn't that what
Parting,
just happened?
Zhongli still calmly goes about his work. The world around him may be descending into chaos, yet he remains unperturbed, sipping his tea and watching a good show. Quite the fascinating character. As Liyue faces the turbulence of change, does he believe it is none of his business? Or is he also a player in this game, acting behind the scenes? It may be some time before the answers finally emerge. But no matter, for time is not something I lack.
Zhongli? Dude, he didn't talk about him borrowing money or anything. Isn't that like one of the things? It's always spending money.
The city of pastorals, Mondstadt,
Albedo.
is as free as the
Okay,
wind.
good, because I don't know anything
Even
about
an
this guy.
outsider like Albedo can become chief alchemist of the Knights of Favonius.
I remember his alchemist,
But on the other
yeah.
hand, his mastery of alchemy means that no one ever would have taken much persuading. Mondstadt was never a nation known for its alchemy, but since Albedo's arrival, the Knights' achievements in the field sit only behind those of Sumeru's top scholars. Knights and academics. Not two words that one would expect to hear in the same sentence.
He looks a lot like the main character.
Instead of leading the charge in combat,
Different hair.
the calm and collected Albedo is better suited to providing support with reliable geo damage.
He's a Geo.
Still, his skill set allows him to deal powerful attacks, meaning he more than holds his own on the battlefield. Creation is the basis of alchemy. Albedo's knowledge allows him to find ways to improve crafting recipes and make better use of materials.
Oh, use less
When
material?
crafting weapon ascension materials, he has a chance of doubling the crafting output.
Oh wait, that's really good then. Bonus.
Albedo's normal attack can combo up to 5 strikes with his sword. Holding the attack button consumes
It's actually
a
kind of
certain amount
annoying, like
stamina
when you
and
knock them
performs 2
away
swift forward
with your
slashes.
attacks, because then you have to run after them.
Tap his
But it's really
elemental
good if
skill
there's a
to
million
create
enemies,
solar
yes.
isotoma
You know what I
using
mean?
alchemy, dealing area of effect geo damage.
1v1
A
is so
field
annoying.
is created around the solar isotoma. Periodically, when an enemy within the field takes damage, a transient blossom is generated at the enemy's location.
I kind of like that.
The transient
They take
blossom
damage by
scales
being
off
in there.
Albedo's defense, dealing AoE geo damage to surrounding enemies. A transient blossom can only be generated once every 2 seconds. Additionally, making contact with the solar isotoma causes geoenergy to accumulate, forming a crystallized platform that lifts the character up to a certain height. Only one platform can exist at a time.
What the heck?
Strategic use of the crystallized platform lets you employ plunging attacks in battle,
Oh,
and
okay.
helps you deal with enemies up above. When
okay.
adventuring, hold Albedo's elemental skill to choose the solar isotoma's position, and use the crystallized platform to get past environmental obstacles more quickly.
I never really
After unlocking the talent Calcite
saw enemies where I'd
Might,
have to use that
transient
yet.
blossoms deal extra damage against enemies with low health.
This is ulti.
Crystallized geoenergy bursts forth at Albedo's command, dealing AoE geo damage in front of Albedo. If
Albedo.
Albedo's solar isotoma is still present on the battlefield, 7 fatal blossoms are generated in the solar isotoma field, which bloom aggressively, dealing AoE geo damage. After unlocking the talent Homuncular Nature, Albedo's elemental burst increases nearby party members' elemental mastery for a period of time.
Ooh. I mean, he seems alright.
Albedo's skill set is a rare and invaluable asset in
Doesn't
combat.
say, actually it's kind of useful.
Creative use of the solar isotoma greatly diversifies the battle, paving the party's way to certain victory. When the battle begins, create a solar isotoma with Albedo's elemental skill. As he and fellow party members attack enemies inside the solar isotoma field, transient blossoms appear and deal damage to enemies, while generating crystalline shields through elemental reactions. Solar isotoma also enables party members to unleash plunging attacks.
True.
When
Okay.
energy is full, have Albedo unleash an elemental burst, giving the whole party a performance boost with increased elemental mastery.
Seems kind of cool. Elemental mastery.
No one can dispute Albedo's talent, but the source of the knowledge he possesses, it once brought about the destruction of a glorious nation. All that most people know of him is his title, Kryda Prince, and that he gained his position in the Knights on recommendation from Alice, the adventurer. Beyond this, the young man is a stranger to them, a complete mystery.
There's no way bro just
and
painted
the
that by going
essence
like
of
this.
his knowledge is equally unknown. But I know it well. It hails from Kanria, the art of chemia. Soil and chalk, the universe and earth, pure dust and the birth of
Yeah, he was talking
human
about
life.
chalk before.
There is no mistaking it.
I got chalk in my room, bro.
I am content to watch most crises play out from the sidelines. But if Albedo were ever to make a single wrong move, I could not let myself ignore it.
Alright, last one for this first part. And then we'll continue the... I don't know if I'm going to do the rest today.
Given Liyue's present prosperity, it's
But I want to
only
do at least
natural
part
that the
one.
city's operational support should match its scale. For millennia, from the birth of the Liyue Qixing to its current roster of 7, they've all relied on the Yuehai Pavilion's secretary, the half-Qilin illuminated beast Ganyu, who assists the mortals in handling the most
I know
crucial
nothing about this
matters.
character.
Although I detest deities, and have no liking for the Adepti who sign contracts with the Geo Archon,
Everything's
a person
Geo.
like Ganyu is still deserving of my respect.
My job is to honor my contract with Rex Lapis by looking out for the interests
Vision
of all
cryo.
living things
Wait,
in
when
Liyue.
their element is their
It is said
vision?
that when a
I didn't know
Qilin
that this
is
whole
brought to
time.
fight, the sun will
What the
lose its
heck?
light.
I'm so
Ganyu
confused.
is a
Why they
force
call it
to
their
be
vision?
reckoned with. An archer with an exceptional aptitude for aimed shots. Her mastery over cryo
I'm
lends
kinda
itself
not a
well
fan
to
of
high
marksman.
damage burst attacks.
I remember playing Amber.
While her skills are of great help to her and her allies.
I mean, they're
during
okay.
combat.
They're okay. But, like, for boss fights, I
Centuries
prefer
of training,
melees.
Ganyu's archery has reached the acme of perfection. She excels at not only using bows, but also making them. Though she no longer needs to fight on the front lines, she still knows bow and arrow like the back of her hand. While forging bow-type weapons, Ganyu recovers a set percentage of the ores used.
Okay.
Her normal attack can combo up to 6 consecutive shots, dealing physical damage to enemies.
I guess if you have a
Charging
really
attack
strong
executes a more
marksman, when they
precise shot
get
that
knocked
deals
back, it's not a
increased
big deal.
damage.
You don't have to chase them.
Based on its charge time, the shot generates different effects. Charge level 1 fires off an icy arrow that
Oh,
deals
whoa.
cryo damage.
Wait, that's pretty good. Just basic attack.
Charge level 2 fires off a frost flake arrow that deals cryo damage and blooms after hitting its target, dealing
That's cool.
AoE cryo damage.
Cryo damage, cryo damage.
Frost flake arrow's power is best used against distant groups of enemies to maximize its effect. After unlocking the talent Undivided Heart, within a set period of time after shooting a frost flake arrow, the next frost flake arrow and its bloom will receive a crit rate bonus. Tap Ganyu's elemental skill to dash backward, leaving an ice lotus in her place that deals cryo damage and continuously taunts surrounding enemies, attracting them to attack it.
Oh.
When destroyed, or once its duration ends, it blooms profusely, dealing AoE cryo
That's
damage.
much better than the Mona taunts
Ice
thing.
Lotus's endurance scales based on Ganyu's max HP.
Oh my gosh, it would last a long
Dexterous
time
use
then.
of Ice Lotus can effectively redirect enemy fire, creating a safe
Wait, this is so
environment
good,
for
what the
Ganyu to
heck?
dish out damage.
I bet you
Blaze over!
could just build like tank items, and it would last a long time.
Ganyu coalesces
And you could switch
atmospheric
characters?
frost to summon a sacred cryo pearl. While it's active, the sacred cryo pearl will continuously rain down shards of ice upon enemies within a set area, dealing cryo damage.
Okay.
Celestial Shower deals damage while serving as a reliable source of cryo that allows Ganyu's allies to trigger corresponding elemental reactions and further increase their damage output. After unlocking the talent Harmony Between Heaven and Earth, with Ganyu in your party, all active party members within Celestial Shower's AoE gain a cryo damage bonus. As an archer, Ganyu knows to keep her enemies at a safe distance and avoid close quarters combat. A constant barrage of frostflake arrows is what makes her strengths truly shine, leading her to victory. Ganyu can use her elemental skill to get out of harm's way and taunt her opponents, allowing her to then fire frostflake arrows unbothered, dealing
But she
damage
seems
to
pretty
groups of
good.
enemies from afar. When her energy is full, Ganyu can unleash her elemental burst to further increase her ability to deal damage. When facing more formidable foes together with her allies, Ganyu's ability to taunt and infuse enemies with cryo is an effective form of support.
Whoa, who is that? I forget
That
what her
allows
name
for
is.
defeating enemies in one fell
She
swoop.
got the Garen spin, bro.
The Liyue Qixing has changed over generations. Centuries have passed in the blink of an eye. Ganyu's accompanied Liyue through many a storm. But
Chichi,
Liyue Harbor
the
itself.
zombie.
Can this city really become a safe harbor for an Adeptus in the world of mortals?
What a deep
When
question.
the Geo-Archon Morax was alive, an Adeptus like Ganyu could find a sense of belonging in the human city. But at present, when the rite of parting has already marked his end, the loneliness of an inhuman living in the human world, will it take Ganyu over completely?
Just got so deep all of a sudden. Alright, that's gonna wrap up part 1 of Collected Miscellany. Yeah, I hope I'm saying that right. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure to leave a like. Don't forget to subscribe, especially if I popped up in your recommended. We're almost back at 5K subs. Really appreciate it. I'm enjoying these so far. And we're probably going to be doing 11 per part. So yeah, 4 parts. Anyways, guys, I will see you in the next one.